Hopefulness 2.0, June 4th. It's just after 5 a.m. There's a big old. This isn't all of what was in here, but most of what was in here is still in here for the most part. I had 4.5 big onions worth of onions in here. I would say I'm probably closer to like 4.25 now. So I'm gonna leave those out. So I'm gonna put them on my pizza. I gotta wash my. So I'm gonna leave you out. Do its thing. Hold on a second. Just got finished screwing around a little bit on EverQuest. I hadn't really been playing EverQuest much recently. Like I haven't even been playing on the older server with the guild and everything. I'm just kind of screwing around with my my one rogue mostly. And then recently, in the last couple of days, I want to say it's Saturday now. And it's Saturday, and I have to work tonight. And I'm only kind of just now getting up in a way because I pretty much slept all day long. Like, I got off of work at 7 o'clock yesterday, Friday morning, and I got home, brushed my teeth, went to sleep. And then I woke up at about 5 p.m., stayed up maybe 2 hours, and pretty much just kept sleeping again. And I mean, I'd wake back up every now and then, but it was just like, I'm staying in bed. And it wasn't until maybe 2 hours ago, roughly, that I actually like got out of bed and stuff. And still haven't eaten anything or anything like that. So what I gotta do here is wash a few things. Including the, I think I'll do the cast iron first. That way I can turn on the heat, let it dry out. Kind of chilly, and yet at the same time I've got my heater in there doing its thing, and it's still kind of chilly, which is weird. I don't know. But whatever. So yesterday, so we have like 14 people in the building now. 14 clients, which is a lot, especially because like when I started, I think we had 9. It maxed out at 10 very briefly, and it dropped down to 6, which is just crazy. Now we got 14 people in the house. And so far, I mean, it's still pretty reasonable. I can get my stuff done in an hour if I really want to. I think it took like 2 hours last night, just kind of taking my time. Because it wasn't in any real hurry to do anything. I mean, I wasn't even, like, because I've been bringing my computer to work to play games or something. While I have, the work computer doing what it's doing. And since there's another computer in the room too, I can turn on like some background stuff, you know, be it some ASMR, or if it's, you know, like one of the things I've been doing recently is just letting primitive technology videos play in the background, just, you know, stuff like that, whatever. And, you know, like I'll still play it's like I've been playing Final Fantasy X again, since I found a version that lets me, play it. And it's a remastered version as well, but it's like the PC version. And in the PC version, there's basically cheats. Like it'll give you all of the basic items, no equipment or anything, and no like key items that are used for, you know, various quests and stuff. But you know, it's pretty helpful to be honest, to have literally everything, and then you can just redo it whenever you feel like it. And so it takes away the need to grind levels. So like in the last couple of days, the grinding, quote unquote, that I was doing was actually just sitting in the sphere grid, just getting it all, getting all the attributes and stuff up, so that I could be super OP, super overpowered. And in doing so, you know, I'm super overpowered now. And to the point that it's almost kind of boring. Not entirely though, but what I'm working on now is, because I'm almost done with the story, I don't have to worry about the glitch that I was having before, where I get to like not the final boss, but the kind of semi-final boss, and like she has like 3 different versions, and in the last version I was playing, if you kill the first one, it just glitches and freezes the game. You can never get past it, ever. Well, I got past that, so I don't have to worry about it. And I've started working on getting characters celestial weapons. I went and so the walkthrough webpage that I'm working with is a little bit misleading on something. So there's an area that in the remastered version, it is, or the international version, they incorporated new really hard fights that can be found more or less randomly, but not super randomly. They're in their specific places. I need to go ahead and turn the heat off. And you can kind of get into a fight. You can get into a fight with like literally some of the hardest possible bosses in the entire game. They're the Dark Aeons, which the Aeons are the summons that you can do in Final Fantasy X. And they're like stupid hard. They have a ton of health, they're really fast, they hit hard, they have nasty abilities. Like, if you are not ready to fight them, you will lose, straight up. Fortunately, it's an option. It's possible for you to escape them, even if you're in fight with them. Like, it's not a mandatory fight when it happens. So that part's good. Well, and part of the walkthrough was talking about, like, I was going to, you know, sort of activate one part of the quest, and it was saying, you know, once you've done this thing, then these Dark Aeons will show up. Well, no, they were already there. I haven't already done that part, and they were already there, so it's like, oops, good thing that I was able to get the hell out of there. But So there was just that little hiccup, but beyond that, I'm, trying to be conscientious and, not deal with that kind of crap at the moment. I don't have a whole lot of food in the house. I just got paid not too long ago, and then dropped all of it into rent. I've got like $700 left. I gotta pay a late fee to the IRS because I wasn't able to get it in on time, which sucks. It's only like $23, but that's $23 that I won't have. I'm trying to get some hours. I still haven't been paid yet for certain days, just because they haven't fallen on the schedule yet. Or the pay schedule, that is. Those will be coming soon, though. Because we get paid twice a month. We get paid like on the 15th or the 13th, something like that. Can't remember the exact date. I'll have to look at that. But I think it's the 15th technically. But if you have like direct deposit, it comes in earlier. And then the last business day of the month. So, even though we work on like holidays and whatnot, Saturdays and Sundays, they aren't technically classified as business days for payroll. So, like a lot of places do. Oh yeah, I was like losing my goddamn mind the other day. So, I bought this set of glass bowls and stuff, right? Because, I want storage and all that. And, I just finished cleaning this one right now. I thought I had 4 of these. I only have 3. So I'm sitting here losing my shit, trying to find the 4th one. Getting real pissed off in the process. And so I'm like, all right, I need to verify this. I need to know if I'm gaslighting myself, if I'm just being an idiot, whatever. So I had to go look on Amazon for the items so that I, when I purchased it, to see how many I was supposed to have. Come to find out, I'm only supposed to have 3. So it was a load off, but it was, frustrating. It's like, well, I wanted 4, because it'd make easier storage, but, you can't always get what you want. What I was talking about earlier, that kind of like detracted from, I guess, because, ADD and all that stuff. So, last night after I got off of work, well, a couple of the guys, especially the new guys, they were having a hard time sleeping. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's going to be a thing. You're coming into a new place. It's not familiar to you, for one, but also you're trying to come off of drugs. You're going through potential withdrawal symptoms. So, you're not gonna... It's not gonna be easy to go to sleep. Not at all. And they were both, kind of coming in the office at roughly the same time. One of them had, prescription for a medication that would help with sleep, and, it's a take as needed type thing, up to a certain number per day. And then the other one, he was just like, pretty sensitive to, said he's pretty sensitive to meds. I don't even believe he had meds listed as any prescriptions or anything, and so ended up giving them both some melatonin to help as well. And, you know, each time I would talk to them, you know, just kind of have a conversation about whatever, you know. Part of it was obviously associated with what they're going through. I mean, I'm no expert. I don't have, like, a background in organic chemistry or anything. It's not like I know exactly how things are working inside the body. But I've got a pretty decent idea. When you're coming off of something, your body is gonna, you know, it's not gonna feel right. And then on top of it, like I said, with the other issues with just psychological aspects of being in a new place, dealing with, you know, the physical and mental issues of recovery and whatnot. And then, again, it just started. And so it's bound to happen. You know, just trying to give them some kind of comfort with regards to the situation they're having at hand. And, you know, part of it is also keeping them in the room too. It's like, I'm not there to be an asshole. But if I gotta be, I gotta be. So I'm trying to do what I can to not be. You know? And I feel like, for the most part, I'm doing a good job. In fact, in the morning after I clocked out, one of them, he had apparently gone up to the office where the other guys were at, and he wanted to thank me, but he didn't, you know, I wasn't there. But then he came downstairs, and I was still there because I was hungry. I don't really care for, like, you know how, like, everywhere you go, especially, like, buffets, for instance, or Denny's, whatever, you know, they all have what seems like the same exact bacon as sausage and eggs. It's all the same, no matter where you go. If it's a continental breakfast and they've got a fucking breakfast bar or whatever, or if you go to an actual restaurant and they have, like, a morning breakfast buffet or something like that, it's all the same. It tastes exactly the same, it feels the same, whatever. That's what I got on my first meal, my first breakfast at work. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. I do the eggs, but, like, I've never really liked the bacon and the sausage. It's always cooked exactly the same way, which is generally overcooked for the most part. I mean, even the eggs are overcooked, but at least overcooked eggs aren't terrible. Oh, that's right. Oh, let's see how hot you are. Still pretty hot, but I can cool that off somewhat. So yeah, I was sitting down there and I was eating some eggs and I had some bagels as well because there wasn't any overnight when I was kind of hunting. But like I said, I haven't really had any food. I mean, I still have some, like, canned food and whatnot, but I need to go get some, like, at least either bacon or chicken or both because I don't have either one of them in the house right now. And I was chilling down there and I had, you know, one of the clients, apparently they have a chore list and like part of it is going and restocking certain elements of sort of our little breakfast nooks that they've got down there, and part of that is like various cereals and breads and bagels and stuff like that, which is great. And I was like, oh, bagels, yes. So I grabbed a bagel after I got the eggs, and I got like a double dose of eggs because I didn't want them eating sausage. sitting down, enjoying it, because I mean, it was great. Like, it's one of those situations where, like, even when okay food tastes great, it's when you're really hungry. I guess I could chop up my cheese. Oh yeah, also forgot, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and do something with right now. Well, I'll keep that here. I'll keep it over here instead. I have another batch, but the last batch of creamed corn. Doesn't really smell like anything because it's just cold. It's my yeast. Man, this turns out great. Put in a little roux. This one I did a double of I doubled up on the butter and the flour, so it was 2 tablespoons of each. And it seems to have helped with the thickening. God, no, it tastes good. Like, I am so surprised at how much I like it, but I'm at the same time kind of not surprised as well. So, and I do half heavy cream, half milk, and then yeah, worked out really well. It's time to cut these bad boys up and put them in their own little container in the fridge. Keep them nice and cold so they don't break in time to broil. So you'll probably hear that phrase, and sometimes it gets clarified, sometimes it doesn't. When milk or cheese or similar break, it means there's a separation of the emulsification. So like, cheese is emulsified, milk is emulsified, butter, because there's water and fat in it, and water and fat don't get along, as we know. Certain salad dressings and stuff, the same thing. And if there isn't something in it to help keep it together, they'll separate. Well, even if you have that, it's still possible to break that emulsification, often with heat, and often with heat at certain, time frames and stuff. Because a lot of times, when it comes to cooking, like many things, but when it comes to cooking, it's very much heat and time. Sorry, you want it yet? I don't. Come on, another one. The one that I just cleaned? No. I have another one down here. One. Oh well. I'll find it sooner or later. Or I won't. I don't know. Try to find one of these, but because it doesn't seem like I'm missing one, but who knows? This is what I was dealing with the other day. Same thing. And that's got me paranoid and shit. But I know for a fact that I've got 4. So I've got the 4 lids. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. Oh well. It was hiding by a big ass container of rice. At least I have rice, but I don't have anything else really to put in it. I mean, I guess I could just throw in some sour cream. Maybe throw in some red kidney beans, I don't know. But that's whatever. But yeah, the whole nice surprise. Learning that, oh my god, I actually like a thing. It's pretty nice, really. Oh yeah. Deflating the pizza a little bit, but it's whatever. Gotta reproof it anyway. It's getting a little too stretchy in one direction. There we go. It's going to sit for about another 20 minutes, which will be time for me to eat the cream corn. Well, I mean, it'll be way more time than it is for me to eat the cream corn. Go ahead and put the lid back on. I'll put the onions on there because it works out really well. It's an extra flavor enhancer. I'll show you. Look, that's my, oops. That's my sponge. Right. Pizza. Timer went off like 15 minutes ago. Oops, that's the wrong button. Spoon. Ooh. Does that have a metal spoon? There it is. It is kind of hard to beat cream corn conceptually. It's like, you have flour, butter, mix those together to make a roux, which in and of itself is like the start of so much deliciousness. And then you throw in milk, cream, and you're creating a bechamel, so it's like a saucy, cheesy-ish, but not cheesy. It's a creamy sauce, which, I mean, come on, that's delicious. There's your Alfredo sauce, basically. And then if you want to go a step further to make a Mornay sauce, then you add cheese. But I mean, I'm making a bechamel, and then I'm throwing in some corn, throwing in some salt. I didn't put any sugar into it this time because I didn't really feel the need for it. And then, you know, a decent pinch of salt goes a long way. And if you want even more, well, you throw in some more. Speaking of, let's see how. It needs to heat up a little bit, and I'm going to throw in a little bit more seasonings now. Because I like putting in like onion powder and garlic powder and stuff. They just really help things shine. Like, I'm going to put those on my pizza. Put them in my rice. Put it in my everything, really. Because they're flavor bombs. But they're not like in your face flavor bombs. There's just enough, I mean, depending on how much you put in, of course, but there's just enough subtlety that's like, ooh, nice. You know, it's like that, really. Would you like that, Justin? Would you really like that? No, not really, no. 2 minutes. I mean, sure, I could do something with the potato when I need to. I don't know what I'll do with it. It's just one potato though, so it's not like I want to, I don't know, maybe I'll stick it in the Dutch oven at some point, put it on a stove. But, wrap it in some foil or whatever, who knows. But, there's some water here. Just, my spoon is sitting in this cup. It's nice and clean though. I mean, relatively. Still so tired though. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm sure it'd probably be easier if I didn't have to commute this whole time. If I didn't have it, at least an hour and a half both ways. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is just my life, though. It's like no matter when I work, the last thing I want to do is anything else after working for 8 hours, even if the work isn't really all that strenuous. And even if it's kind of rewarding. And what I totally forgot was, to mention, was like, guy comes downstairs and eating my stuff, and he's like, hey, I wanted to go upstairs. I wanted to thank you. You really did help me out earlier today. It's like, all right, cool. That's awesome. Good to hear. Not everybody gets a thank you when they're at work, and I rarely ever got thank yous at work, so it's nice to get that thank you. It's nice to feel like what you do matters, and I hope that continues, but at the same time I hope I start getting paid more, because I need more hours, I need more money. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. But with that said, I'm gonna end this. Have fun.